Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. It's haircut time, so that can only mean one thing. I'm back in Chinatown, and I just got my hair cut. And this is a video you've probably seen before. This is a beautiful temple in Chinatown in Los Angeles. It's the 24th of January, Sunday afternoon. And it's about 60 degrees, another beautiful day. And there's just something about a temple, a Chinese temple, that is just fascinating to me. And the architecture in the West is kind of boxy, square, triangle, sometimes round, and kind of bland. Even the churches can be Gothams of concrete and sandstone, granite. But the detail on a Chinese temple is just something that can't be beat, and it just reminds me of complete opposite of somebody's garage. You know, when you see somebody open up their garage and you can't even walk through, much less get a vehicle inside. Just an eyesore, you know. People just can't seem to discard things that aren't in for use anymore, or things that have gotten old. So I got my $9 haircut, and I'm excited about that. I like the way the roof goes like this. And just real nice, real peaceful. It's closed today, I guess, but somebody was going through the gate, and this gate over here opened, and I was able just to walk in. So that's a nice thing. Some things in 1908, today in history, 1908 was the first Boy Scouts were started in England. You'll notice most of your names, your street names, even your towns and cities in America all come from names from Europe or England. And the Boy Scouts was started in England today in 1908. In 1984, the first Macintosh computer was for sale. 1984. Can you remember that? The first Macintosh computer. So it's a quiet Sunday. The pandemic is still going, but it seems to perhaps be plateaued or leveled off here in Los Angeles. Essential workers were all had access to the vaccination, and this is just one of a couple of temples, Chinese temples here in Chinatown. Actually, this is one that you've seen before, but not perhaps from this angle. I have over 600 subscribers now, which is kind of fun. And just something about a temple. It gives you a feeling of peace, hope where there's no hope. So the vaccination is okay now for people 65 and more in Los Angeles. And if we come over here, see, it's not the Chinatown, it's still pandemic. We had rain, and we'll continue on and off for the next week. And as they always say, we need it. I always say, well, I don't know, I don't have a farm. I don't really need the rain, but I guess it's good to have rain. That's the that building right there is the headquarters for the MTA, the mass transit, the buses. Beautiful building. Someday I'll have to get up there and shoot a video. It's a great view, and they have nice murals, and it's just a beautiful building. And over here is the Twin Towers. 1, and next to it 2. That's the brand new Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department jail. They call those the Twin Towers, which is a common name for any two buildings that look alike and are in a pair. So that's the temple. I thought this was going to be another entrance over here, but it's not. So I guess I'll just go on out again. So I had no waiting, really. I just went in and got my hair cut. Her name is Cindy. I call ahead of time. She just goes, trims it up. Hair like fingernails grow too fast, huh? Every time you turn around, it's time to trim your fingernails and your hair gets out of control quicker than ever. No traffic coming down here under 110. I used my transponder. And just another glorious day in January in Los Angeles. And a little temple over here. Doesn't it just give you a feeling of calm, organization, peace, tranquility, love? All the things that we cherish in a family, and good friendship, and happy life. I don't know, that's what I see and that's what I feel whenever I see one of these Chinese temples. If you've ever been to China, you should try to go. You'd love it. If you love New York City, you'd love Shanghai. It's like New York, Chinese New York. Shanghai, it's just beautiful. And the buildings, those are the buildings you see all lit up like Vegas, right across the river. You see them on commercials a lot. It's a very famous skyline, Shanghai, China. And from there you can get on a high-speed train and leave in the morning about 7 a.m. and you can be in Beijing for lunch by 11. And Thailand is getting a new high-speed train as well. There was a guy on YouTube I saw that had the infrastructure. He was doing a video on all the construction and all the concrete pillars. And I mean, I love Amtrak, but Amtrak needs help. Imagine if we had a high-speed train network all over the United States and you could go from Chicago to Dallas and Dallas to Fort Lauderdale or St. Augustine to Nashville, Tennessee, and from there you could scoot out to Colorado or Denver, and from Denver you could be in Arizona or Phoenix, and from Phoenix you could be in Reno, Nevada, and Portland to Seattle, all on the high-speed train network. But the people of this country are just not willing to be forward thinkers in a lot of ways, and they don't want to modernize the country. We're having a hard trouble getting a high-speed train here in California. You know, there's a group of people in the know or not in the know who are just refusing to get behind a modernization of an aging railroad system. You know, I feel sorry when I say, I like trains, so I watch the train videos and the Amtrak, and you know, the trains in Europe, you know, they can balance a flute of champagne on the tray table inside the high-speed train, and it doesn't even spill and doesn't even make waves, and you don't hear a thing but a shh. And then you watch an Amtrak video on YouTube and you can hear it squeaking and crackling and crackling and squeaking, and it's just lumbering down these ancient tracks, and just making noise and squeaking and rambling. Don't get me wrong, I still love Amtrak and I still love sleeping on a train and the dining car and all that. But the comparison to the modern trains that are just flying all over the world, in all Europe and Asia and China and just everywhere. I mean, put it this way, we have the same train infrastructure that India has. And that's saying it all in one word. Everybody knows what India represents with regards to infrastructure. So I don't know if it'll ever happen in my lifetime. There's a reluctance to just... Whoa, that's a big engine, big engine, big engine. Whenever you hear that, when you go by or when a car goes by and you hear that, just say to yourself, that's a big engine. That's a big engine. That might be a 32 valve, 32, 16, just a big engine. Big engine. A lot of people don't know those Ferraris. I think that was a Ferrari. I don't know if you caught it. You can't even work on those vehicles yourself. They have to be maintained by the manufacturer, by an authorized Ferrari representative or dealer, because they don't want people riding around in those things, modifying them and making them look nutty, and that'll weaken the brand. So at 11 minutes and 28 seconds. And let me see if I can get out of here now. This is the gate that was open. And this is an adjacent building. I guess an apartment building or something over here. I like the way they hang the lanterns in the trees. It just gives you a feeling of peace, as opposed to that messy garage. Yeah, it's an apartment complex, I guess. Yeah. Association, yeah, we saw this in a previous video, but I'm sorry, it's not the biggest Chinatown. I guess I'm just gonna get over this fence. I'm tall enough without hurting my, oh jeez. Oh. Okay. I'm over. But anyway, yeah, you go on to YouTube. And another thing you want to do, if you haven't seen this movie, it's called If It's Tuesday, It Must Be Belgium. If you want to see a funny comedy, and when I say comedy, I mean you laugh at almost or every scene in the movie. Yeah, you laugh. Mr. Roper, the landlord on Three's Company, is in it. A lot of actors that you know are in it. It's called If It's Tuesday, It Must Be Belgium. What was the other thing I was going to tell you? Oh, my mask. I'm sorry. I had my mask off. Well, and then a woman walked by. So yeah, if you want to see a good movie. Oh, I know what I was going to say. If you want to look on YouTube, you go to nasa.org. NASA, and that's NASA, the space people. And go to .org, and you can pick out videos. And last night I watched the one about the 3 astronauts. I think they were Russian. They filmed it, and how they get back to Earth from the International Space Station. And I'll tell you, it was amazing. The technology and the nerve of these brave astronauts. I mean, you can't have one iota of claustrophobia at all to be an astronaut. I mean, just to see where do they go to the bathroom, where they sleep. They get into this capsule, 3 of them, and it's like there's no room to even, and you can see them tightening their seatbelt real tight before they land. And then when they land, one of the fellas said, when you land in Russia in the middle of the field with this capsule, he said it was like, the parachute comes out, it might look like a soft landing to the naked eye, but the astronaut said it was like a head-on collision with a great big truck and a very small car. And he said he was the very small car. So I guess that's why you see them sometimes when they get out of that capsule. There's the haircutting place. And it's just nice. You go in there and no waiting. She was cutting somebody's hair when I walked in, but she was almost done, so there was no waiting. And that's where I get my hair cut. And what was I saying about the astronaut? Oh, I'm sorry. She just pointed at me and said, "Get your mask on." But I want to keep it off while I'm talking. She pointed at me. Jeez. She took me to task. That's what you call taking somebody to task. Anyway, I mean, it was just amazing. So if you're sick and watching some stuff that just seems to be pointless, it's fun to watch things that aren't pointless. Real life things. Not a bunch of people reading scripts, but just the sheer bravery of an astronaut. And they know science, and they know math, and they know medical stuff. I mean, they're the smartest people. They're like my sister Terry. Some people, can just give them a manual and give them the tools, and they'll figure it out. That's what an astronaut has to do. They have to figure out things when things go south, things go sideways. They really have to just pick up the ball and run with it. I mean, I got more respect for astronauts. I mean, who in their right mind would want to blast off out of the planet in a machine that so many things can go wrong? I mean, look at all the things that go wrong when we go take a flight to New York, a flight to Dallas. Imagine taking a flight out of the atmosphere. But I respect them. I tell you, I respect them. They're probably, I can't think of another person or a group of people with such a dedication and professionalism than an astronaut. And she did a tour. Hello. She did a tour. Before I watched that video, the woman, the astronaut, the American astronaut, she gave a whole tour of the International Space Station. And at nighttime, if you look up and see a blinking light going across the clear blue sky, that is the International Space Station. And all right, I'm at 17 minutes, so I'm gonna leave it at this. But yeah, those astronauts are unbelievable. And there's also, YouTube's got flight channels where you can see them taking off in airplanes and pushing all the buttons. And I mean, you sit back in the coach seat and you're thinking about cartoons and Who's the Boss and I don't know, South Park. And there's guys up front there, and they are just putting in coordinates, talking at frequencies, checklist after checklist after. I mean, it's just amazing, There's a Harley Davidson from the sound of it. Here we are, so you can see where we are. And 18 minutes and 35 seconds. I'm gonna have to leave it at this. I don't want to go too far. I always say that, but I get talking, and then I want to talk to you some more and give you some more information that I think you might find interesting. Whoa, that's one of those Subarus. Those are something else, those Subarus. Okay, I get the walkie man, so I'm gonna go here just so I can get a good shot downtown. That's the Daily Planet building from the television show Superman. And look at the garbage pail, see? It's a pandemic. On a Sunday afternoon, this garbage pail would be full, but it's hardly been touched because nice cloud. So I'm at Broadway and Alpine Street in Chinatown. Okay, have a good week, and stay happy.